Hi, it's Evan and welcome back to video number 5 in our Cheltenham Festival Ante Post Selection series. We're currently 4 weeks out from the festival. I'm recording this on the 14th of February. 4 weeks today the festival will begin, 1 month today, and I cannot wait. It's starting to get real now. We're going to do this video slightly differently and I'm going to put up 2 selections, not just the one that we've done in previous weeks. So one single selection like I have done in previous weeks, one Ante Post selection, but also I'm going to put up a double this week, a double that I believe has no chance of losing, famous last words, but a double that I really like for this festival. Look, if you're enjoying these videos, please press the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So as I said in the introduction to this video, we are currently 4 weeks out as of today from the 2023 Cheltenham Festival. I cannot wait. I'm sure you cannot wait either. Markets are really starting to take shape now. We're seeing horses pulled out of races. We're seeing horses scratched from races. We're hearing talk of horses being supplemented for races. But the markets, like I say, are starting to take shape. We're starting to understand what prices may look like on the day, what horses may be entered into which races. And this week we're going to, like I said, do things slightly differently with 2 different selections. A single selection, similarly to the past 4 weeks, and a double, which I'll come on to later in the video. But no market has changed more this week than the Ryanair Chase. As we've seen short price favourite Allaho, who's been sitting around that kind of 6-4, 2-1 mark in anti-post markets for the last few months, pulled out from the race due to injury. There's been that speculation all season, will Allaho go to this race or will he not go to this race? But we've got that definite answer that we've been waiting for this week, which leaves this market wide open really. At the top of the market, we've got now Blue Lord and Fakir Duduray, 3-1 joint favourites for this race. Followed by Shishkin at 7-2. In the non-running no bet markets, horses like Conflated in there as well, who's probably likely to go to the Gold Cup. Fury Road, Hort and Couleurs, who would need to be supplemented if he did go for this race, Envoy Allen, Pic Dory, and so on and so on. Now this weekend is going to shape this market in that the Betfair Ascot Chase sees Shishkin, Fakir Duduray and Pic Dory all go up against each other. And there's also entrants for other runners in this current anti-post market, such as French Dynamite, such as Hort and Couleurs this weekend. So whether those horses take up those entries and do run this weekend is yet to be seen, but let's assume the majority of them do. That's really going to shape the top of this market and what it looks like. But like I said, Blue Lord and Fakir Duduray is the current 3-1 favourites jointly for this race. I am more than happy with that because, as I've mentioned in my blogs on Twitter, I'm currently sat on a 33-1 anti-post bet slip for Blue Lord, so hoping that he has a good shot. But again, like I said at the start of this video, this week I'm going to put up 2 bets, one single selection and a double. That single selection that I'm putting up this week comes in this race, the Ryanair Chase, and that is French Dynamite, who's currently priced at 14-1 for the race. So the reason that I'm putting up French Dynamite this week, and the reason that I believe he's a great value bet at 14-1, is quite simple. I don't believe that on form nor ability, he's that far off the joint favourite Fakir Duduray in this race. Now, if we look at his runs this season, he's run 4 times since October. The first of those in October was at Thurles where he won. But then the difficulty of those races increased throughout the season. So his next run was at Cheltenham in November in the Paddy Power Gold Cup, where he hit the last quite heavily, and I think that cost him the race because he only finished about 3/4 of a length behind Garlaw, giving weight away. I think if he didn't hit that last fence, he would have won that race. Now, his next run, he was upped in grade significantly and was entered in the Grade 1 Savills Chase in December. And I think he just got found out a little bit by the distance there. As he was approaching the last hurdle, he was contesting second with Kenboy, was running well, but then just faded in that kind of last furlong and a half after the last fence and just didn't get the 3-mile distance. Now in his last race, that was over 2 mile 4, back down in distance again, grade 2 at Thurles again. And that was the race where Hort and Couleurs went down quite heavily. and really significantly hampered French Dynamite. I think French Dynamite would have come second to Haute and Couleurs had he not been hampered. As he came over the last fence, the jockey almost was, side on, almost like he was riding a surfboard. If I can, I'll stick a photo up on over the top of this video. So he's landed sideways, he's kind of lost all momentum, and then Fakir Duduraz has gone past and gone on to win the race. French Dynamite's finished second, and then Chacun Pour Soi and Lifetime Ambition, both good horses on their day, have finished behind those front two. Now, obviously, Fakir Duduraz was giving French Dynamite weight on the day because he's rated, a little bit higher. But I genuinely believe that run for French Dynamite would have been significantly better had he not, been hampered significantly coming over that last fence. I think he would have gone very close, if not won the race. And therefore, in general, I believe on ability, those two horses are very close. And therefore, when one's 3-1 and one's 14-1, and I'm trying to find value in this market, French Dynamite's the one that I'm going to get behind. Now, like I've said, this weekend should give us maybe some more answers or give this market a bit of a shake-up, because both do have their own entries in different races this weekend. But look, let's take the 14-1 shot. Let's see how French Dynamite goes this weekend. I'm sure he's going to go to the race, and he is my Ante Post selection for this week. Now, as I said at the start of this video, as we're only 4 weeks out from the festival, I'm going to do something slightly different this week and put up an additional selection, an additional bet that I like for this year's 2023 Cheltenham Festival. Not just a single like I've done at the start of this video and throughout previous weeks, but I'm going to put up a double with two horses that I think have excellent chances of winning their respective races at the festival. Now, I'm not going to go into mad detail on this one. I'm not going to go through race by race analysis and look at form lines, because I don't want to insult anyone's intelligence putting up, two very short price favourites to win their races. But that double that I think has a great chance to win, two of my favourite horses for the festival, is Lossiemouth at 13-8 currently on Sky Bet, non-runner, no bet, to win the Triumph Hurdle. And Mighty Potter, who's currently at 11-8, again, non-runner, no bet on Sky Bet, to win the Turner's Chase. Now, that bet pays roughly 5.2-1 based on current prices, which I think is a very good value for two horses who have significantly good chances of winning their two respective races, like I said. Just quickly to touch on each. I think Lossiemouth has been brilliant all this season, was very unlucky at the Dublin Racing Festival, was badly hampered by her stablemate as she came around that final bend at the end of her race. I think finished very impressively to, almost go from a standstill and be hampered and pushed right back to the race to finish within about 3 lengths of Gala Marceau, who again is a horse I think is very good, but I think Lossiemouth is better. And I just cannot for the life of me see her losing at the festival. She's, given a better run and gets a bit more fortune than that day. I think she's going to be very tough to beat. Mighty Potter, on the other hand, similar story. I think since the Supreme last year where he was pulled up, he's just been exceptional this season going over fences. Again, at the Dublin Racing Festival, just looked untouchable. And looking through the current Turners market, there's so many horses that Ante Post are not going to run in that race. I just can't see anything, even getting close to him, let alone pushing him at the end. So Mighty Potter for the Turners and Lossiemouth for the Triumph. In a double, 5.2-1. That is my second bonus selection for this week. So there we have it. 2 selections this week. French Dynamite at 14-1 for the Ryanair Chase, and then the double on Lossiemouth and Mighty Potter at just over 5-1 for the Triumph and the Turners respectively. Hopefully you've enjoyed this week's video. If you do like my videos, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks again for watching, and we'll be back next week with episode 6.